Good evening. Taking a walk. I enjoy taking walks. Walks at night. It's quiet. More or less quiet. And, it's October 6th, 2024. Time continues to move. Right. And depending on one's concept of that, we find ourselves moving forward. And sometimes some of us feel that we're moving backwards at the same time, but we're not. Yet where is the end point of this forward movement? Do you feel that you're making progress in your life? What is your life goal? What do you want to become? Or what do you want to be, right? Or what are you? What is this and who are we? Human beings. We're humans, right? We're not space aliens. At least I don't think so. Maybe to a space alien, we're space aliens, though. We're from this weird planet called Earth that is different from their planet, which is, of course, the place where the aliens are not aliens. Right? Just like if you're American and you're in America, then you're American and you're not an alien. But if you're an American and you're in Japan, then you're an alien, and vice versa, and so on for any person of any culture or race, nationality, right? In a so-called foreign place. And yet we're all on the same blip that in English we call Earth. And we're all trying to get somewhere, but nobody knows where that is, right? So we just keep going, making progress so that we can become something, so that we can be someone. And what's the goal? as I said earlier, what's the end point to this? For each of us individually and for all of us collectively as a species on this blip we call Earth. Think about this. If the Earth were vaporized tomorrow, what would happen to time? What would happen to this becoming, or these goals that we have for ourselves and so forth? What would become of them? Right? Instantaneously. All of that would be gone, and what would be left? What would be left? What would be left of you and me? If the Earth were vaporized in the morrow. And within that context, what is it that you or anyone or I or anyone, what is it that we are trying to be or become as time feels as if it's propelling us forward into some so-called future that doesn't actually exist? Which is to say, it doesn't yet exist. And when it comes into being, it's the present. It's no longer the future, because the future doesn't exist. It can't exist. Ever. Neither can the past. Except as memory. Think about this. This isn't the belief system. This isn't the highfalutin philosophical concept. If you really think about it, isn't it so? I didn't make this up, and I'm not an original thinker by saying this. And I'm not claiming any particular esoteric knowledge. It's a fact, right? Think about it, it's a fact. So, to become anything, we first must understand what this whole thing is in the first place, and that our ideas about it are kind of warped. We've been misled. We've been fooled. I love taking walks at night. I've been doing this since at least 20 or 21 during COVID. I'm entering the grounds of the shrine here. I have to walk a bit. You can see it's behind me. Right? So, Last night I did a talk in my room, and I was going to post it, and I'm not sure I may still do so. The content's completely different, in a way, from what I'm saying now. And I was just sitting in my apartment room, sniffling, because when I'm in my apartment, I have allergies and asthma and sometimes cough. And so I don't know what it is, but there's something that I'm reacting to in the room or the building. That's the other reason I like taking walks, to get out. I sleep there and try to get out as much as possible these days. I end up spending more money when I'm out, but I've been sitting at a lot of sort of coffee shops or restaurant coffee shops. You know, I can get a cup of coffee or, you know, tea, or sometimes wine or beer even. I do. Not in excess, not the way I used to drink. I don't need it. It's too much. And actually, sometimes I decide to have a glass of wine or beer, and then it makes me kind of sleepy, and I'm like, yeah, maybe I shouldn't have had that. But I still have a taste for it from time to time. I've been drinking a lot of coffee more than tea. I used to drink tea every single day. Green tea. For a while I was obsessed with Japanese green teas, actually, when I was living in the US. At one point, there was a year or two when I was living in Providence, Rhode Island, when I was studying at Brown University, and actually after I graduated, I had this obsession with green teas and Chinese teas at one point too. They're different, very different. Green teas, oolong teas. See the way my mind works. I hear someone sneeze and I'm bound to make a comment about how people have been coughing a lot. And I was just talking about how I cough in my room a little bit. And I normally don't cough unless I'm sick or I'm getting over a cold or something. I don't smoke. A lot of people coughing. So I don't know. Here is the shrine, the entrance to the shrine itself. So I'm gonna go in. I don't think anybody's here. I'm gonna do my ore, my bow, and show my respects, because this is amazing. Look at this. See these trees? Look at that. See that? And we enter. I can do it in reverse, actually. I took a photo of this the other night and kind of made an abstract cover for my it's dark, but bow again. Cover for my song single perspective. Because everything's perspective. The way we would perceive reality is our reality, and that's all it is, and yet we assume this is reality for every creature, or like, you know, thinking of what Bowie said in 2002, you know, think of ourselves as the gods creating the nuclear bomb, and we think that we rule the universe, and really we're these tiny little blips on this tiny little blip called Earth. We call Earth in the universe. And we live and we die no matter what happens, whether we blow each other up or blow ourselves up or we don't. Nobody lives forever, whatever longevity things, AI things, what the fuck. We're not immortal in that sense. And the fact that many people can't accept that is a big problem, I think. perception, perspective, perception too. What we perceive is what we have, isn't it? So here's what are these guardians of the shrine, and I'm walking in, and I love this, you know. I mean, I've done so many videos using video from Nightwalks here, and a lot of people say, Japanese people say, like, aren't you afraid of going to the shrine at night? Like, it's creepy. It's like, what's creepy? It's peaceful, quiet, nobody's here. I feel at peace here. I don't feel it's creepy at all. Why would it be creepy? It's like peaceful and safer here than, like, you know, at a nightclub. You know, that's creepy. Lots of drunken people doing stupid things. Sorry if that's rude. I mean, I've been to nightclubs and I've been drunk and done stupid things myself many times. But I would rather be at a shrine at night. And this is, I'm going to pay my respects. I'm going to turn the camera off for a minute here. Leaving the grounds, and as I had shut the camera off and paid my respects, I just took that video. Someone came in, I heard footsteps and then some sound, and I'm leaving now. Bow. And so I guess someone working for the shrine just entered. I took footage, right? I just showed the lights came on. So it was in a way good timing, because if I'm like filming and talking, I seem really, really ayashi. I seem really like some weird guy, you know, at the temple grounds filming. And that's never happened. No one's ever been there while I'm there at night. But he's working at the shrine grounds, I guess. And so it's fine. But I'm not doing anything wrong. But maybe better that I wasn't filming, in a way. I'm not really worried about these things, because I'm respectful. Because I am. That's why I go. And that's why I turn the camera off in the first place. There's some, these, take. Really can't see well because it's too dark. But the trees here, the bamboo trees, yeah, it's too dark. You can't, on the camera, you can't see. It used to be very thick. And speaking of 2021, maybe 2022, I think New Year's, I came here or something, and then like from last year maybe they thinned it out, and like it was thick so you couldn't see through, you know, but now they thinned it out so you can see the houses behind, and it's too bad. Maybe there was some reason, like they're afraid people are gonna, you know, jump out from behind the trees or something, I don't know. Some stupid reason they thinned them out, and at least they didn't cut all of them down, you know. So I have no idea whether anyone is watching these talks like through to the end, or anyone cares. And I could just take a walk. And actually I was listening to music and then decided spontaneously halfway through my walk here partway through my walk to turn the camera on. It's just how I am. I just enjoy doing this. And like I could just do these and not post them. Like last night's talk I haven't posted yet. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. I'm not sure yet. It's not really the point. But you know, think in a way this is a kind of free-form talk and walk, and I don't know, maybe someone will watch it and enjoy it for whatever reason, or you'll just watch it and say, this guy is so strange, what the hell is he talking about? That's fine. You know? The hell am I talking about? So, in the Heian period in Japan, they had, something in Japanese called Zuihitsu, which is usually translated as something like following the pen. Hitsu is, like a brush, actually, following the brush. They wrote with brushes, before plastic pens or whatever. So, and the idea was just that it's like scratching down random thoughts, almost stream of consciousness. Certainly before the surrealists start doing that kind of work and Jungian psychology and all that. But, so I think this is a kind of Zuihitsu style of rambling talk that I do right now while walking. And this is me, and this is how my brain works. And it's like, how do you do it? And it's, by not thinking, I talk. And yet, that's a contradiction, isn't it? Because without thought, there's no words, there's no topics. I'm obviously thinking. Most would say you think too much, right? You're thinking about all these things. Look at this. This tree is just incredible. It's huge. And actually it looks like a temple kind of ground there. You can't really go in though, right? You think too much. But actually, in a way, it's not thinking that produces the kinds of thoughts that I'm having, because they just come out without, it's not planned, right? So usually the idea of thinking, it's like you think hard about something, you think about, how am I going to do this? You make a plan, you make a map, you make a sketch, you make a diagram, you make a whatever, and you think and then you do. But I think this is not thinking, in a way. I know that's a contradiction in terms there's thought involved, but it's like a free form, right? Like the following the pen, free association. And I think, using that term again, not meaning to even, that the music I now do is like, a lot of it is like this, So you say it's improvisation. Some say, oh, you're just, some would say like, you're noodling around and no one cares, like, where's your well thought out song for 4 or 5 minutes that has a catchy chorus? I mean, I wrote songs like that for years, and I keep revisiting many of them and doing them in different ways. Not only the electronic stuff, but the acoustic stuff and, the singer-songwriter kind of stuff, right? That's always possible. But even those things, if I were to sit down and say, okay, I'm going to write a 4 or 5 minute pop song, or not exactly pop, but like a A-B chorus, bridge kind of thing, which I used to do. And I started doing, that was in the beginning, it was my first band, Chattering Man. That was the way that the guitarist is, it's like you do A-B chorus, bridge, guitar solo for him. And so I started writing songs that way, because that was like, because I had never written songs before that. I didn't even know how to play a single chord on the guitar at that time. I just started doing a cappella. And then, once I start playing guitar and composing and blah, 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 getting the keyboard and electronic stuff with black nail and dials in the bathroom and all that kind of stuff in late 2016, really early 2017 and red signals and all that kind of stuff. but nowadays it mostly is spontaneous. So I was talking about perspective, the piece I did, and I just filmed myself singing and filmed myself playing the Telecaster and filmed myself with the castle twiddling the knobs and using the effectors and stuff, and I recorded all three of those parts separately in Logic, but I filmed them all, and then I edited the video, and the footage that comes toward the last, past the halfway, like the last third or so of the video, where it's before it shifts to the the footage I took in the studio a day or two prior, whatever it was, playing the flute and the acoustic. Because I added that footage and I added that music to the end of the piece, was Roppongi. And someone brought me to this thing with all the lights and the mirrors and the projections, and I just filmed that. It's all my footage. I didn't steal that from some website or anything. That's my footage I took. And it seemed to fit the theme, because perspective. I mean, there were like these light projections and mirrors and glittery things, and it looked like you were actually some of the stuff that would have fit the theme even better. I didn't film, like the mirrors, and you felt that you're looking through the ground or the ceiling, but there was a mirror there on top and on bottom, that kind of thing, right? It's an illusion, it's an optical illusion, but you think about going back to what I said in the beginning of this whole thing. Well, I don't want to get too confusing about time and movement and perception and where do you think you're going? What is this progress? What is this idea? And forward movement of time. And no past, no future, only present, right? And only present perception. And at this moment, you might think something looks like one thing, and the next moment, your brain might snap into another. Wait a minute, that's not that, that's that. I was wrong. I thought that was a really sexy woman, and then turned around and the long hair was a long-haired guy. Okay, or vice versa. Or I thought that was a really handsome guy and it's a woman wearing a tuxedo or whatever. Or, I thought it was a snake, but it was just a piece of rope. Or I thought it was a piece of rope and I grabbed it and it was a snake. Oh shit. And then panic mode. Are you enjoying this walk as much as I am? Life is complex, but it's also very simple in a way. We make it too complex in a way with our thoughts, but of course the actual complexity of life is beyond our comprehension. And by trying to understand it, to make it understandable, we actually complicate it and we create all kinds of problems for ourselves, both for ourselves and for each other. So something like this. All right, I've had enough of the camera. I'm going to continue to walk because I need to get where I'm going. Thanks for joining me tonight on my nightly walk here. Not every night, but tonight's walk. Lovely evening. Still, it's not cold, but it's actually cooler than it's been. So it's perfect autumn evening weather. It won't last, but right now, again, there's no future, there's only now, right? When future comes, future will be now, and this moment will be past. So I need to enjoy this moment right now, because this moment right now is the only time I can enjoy this very moment now. Thank you.